Okay, can you hear me okay? Thank you. So, as we know, the internet can provide a great way of communicating and keeping in touch with people near and far to us. And for some people, it can be a way of making new contacts with others, perhaps finding people with whom there is a commonality, and even, for some, exchange emotional, practical, or social support. We know that the internet has encouraged some people with high-functioning autism to communicate with each other in online groups. So it seems that the internet may address some of the social isolation of autism by improving the potential to find others who have similar experiences. Additionally, it may be for people with high-functioning autism, the internet also offers a comfortable space more suited to their communication style. This study sought to explore the experiences, motivations and perceptions of people with high-functioning autism who use the internet for communication. What are the potential benefits and what are the risks? There were 23 participants in this study who were interviewed mainly via email about their perspectives and experiences of the internet as a communication medium. And I'll briefly discuss some of the emergent themes from the analysis of those interviews. As this extract from one of the interviewees illustrates, one's success as a communicator depends on how much control can be exerted over the interaction. And communication is a complex process, and there are many interconnecting levels at which control can be lost. Participants explained how, due to its visual anonymity, flexible timing, textual nature, and the availability of a record of postings, the internet could diminish the social, emotional, and time pressures of interpersonal communication and the cognitive complexity of the processes involved. The internet could also provide a structure and a procedure by which new contacts can be made, and there are more possibilities and choices by which social networks may be extended. And similarly, the rules and moderation for some people provided structure and explicit guidance for social interaction in online group situations. And finally, participants described how the distancing effect and the visual anonymity of the internet can create feelings of personal protection and security. The enhanced control online can have an empowering effect for some, such that people may feel that they can interact with others on a more equal basis. And there were various ways in which this empowerment was experienced in terms of being able to express and indeed be oneself, whilst on the other hand being able to control and choose how to present oneself, and also being able perhaps to assume a different role online. And being able to express oneself more easily and discuss thoughts and feelings and personal issues could be therapeutic. It could be easier to take part in a group communication situation online. Group situations were emphasised by the interviewers as being particularly stressful in a more direct form communication. And also that they would be able to find a peer group online in which they felt validated and less isolated, whether this online group was based on ASD or other personal concerns such as mental health issues or issues of sexuality. The internet may also provide a means of gaining support, integrating into the workplace, and may increase the confidence to interact with other people in some offline situations.
One minute.
Okay. However, with the sense of liberation, participants described the possibility of actually losing control over their own interactions when online, which brings risks. Spending large amounts of time may cause one to neglect other aspects of life, including relationships and interactions with people face to face. And some interviewees suggested the possibility that their online activities had an addictive element. Or one interviewee raised the possibility that this was an Asperger's thing too, such that he could feel some distress if he got behind on certain sites and had his routine disrupted. Associated with this loss of inhibition, associated with this loss of control is the lack of acceptability to others of what would be perceived excessive or inappropriate use of the internet. One participant had been warned 3 times at work about using email when he could have used phone or face-to-face communication, had also annoyed his wife and friends with what they perceived as his excessive use of online communication when they would rather he would have spoken to them face-to-face. And disinhibition online can bring potential personal vulnerability due to the risk of getting carried away and saying too much. And that risk is exacerbated by there being a permanent record online of what you have said. And so, to conclude, the internet may provide a forum in which the opinions and needs of higher functioning autistic people may be expressed more effectively, with implications for their social inclusion, self-advocacy, their access to support, and participation in research, of which this study is itself an example. However, consideration should be given to the risks associated with overuse, self-disclosure, and the undesirable behaviour of third parties. Thank you very much for listening.